Just a couple typical stories I wanted to share with you here. The mongering, the rich. Can we eat the rich yet? Coronavirus is a poor person's virus. Now, relax. I'm sure that's taken out of context. You know how they love to do that to get us excited. If we're going to eat the rich, can we start with Bezos, Oprah, LeBron, Zuckerberg, Dorsey, and Bill Gates? That's who I'm starting with. How about you? Who's on your list? Who's the rich we're eating? Come on, everybody. They're horrible. They're saying it's a poor person's virus. Let's just read the headlines here. Like I said, I have another story I want to show you. We're not going to read through the whole thing. I'll link it in the description if you want to read the full article, though. Silicon Valley elites are throwing lavish parties where guests take 15-minute rapid COVID tests and use private jets to hop from one safe city to the next as they ride out the pandemic. Those rich! Silicon Valley's elite have been carrying on with their lives and socializing as if everything was normal, despite the 19 pandemic, sources say. One thing I will say, though, is, yeah, obviously we want to carry on as much as possible. We can't just sit home and turn into wimpy blobs who fear everything, which is what the media is trying to do, and that's what one political party is trying to get everybody to do. We can't do that, regardless. Now, actually, I shouldn't say that. We can't. You can. I'm not going to. If you have these Silicon Valley elites, especially the individuals who are controlling the narrative through Twitter, for instance, Facebook, I see they mentioned Zuckerberg here. If they're out here trying to tell us something, or more specifically, Zuckerberg's case, if he's censoring information that tells us this thing really isn't that bad, but he's out there doing this, then that makes him a hypocrite. And that's one observation I would have. Just that. I have no problem with what he's doing, but don't be a hypocrite. Don't be trying to censor people that are giving you logical information and saying, hey, maybe this thing isn't as bad as the media likes to portray it. Maybe it's not as bad as how they're trying to scare us into believing it is. So why are you censoring such information while you're out here acting like nothing's going on, right? It comes as the U.S. continues to battle the highest number of infections globally, and 1,000 Americans are still dying each day. Sources told Vanity Fair that the luxurious lifestyles of the country's billionaires is no different to before the pandemic broke out. One doctor said, the virus is a poor person's virus. Now, in this article, they may have the context for that. I didn't look, but I bet he didn't come out and say it how they're trying to portray it. I bet he was talking about in terms of the victimology. He probably gave a long statement and then probably gave this factual information. But, of course, you know how they try to spin it. Sources say Uber co-founder Travis Kalanick is among those throwing parties at his home in LA. Travis, call me up. I'm like 40 minutes away, man. Get me on a private helicopter, just have me land in your backyard, we're good to go. I can't call me an Uber anymore since California is kind of trying to squash that, but I'm not bitter at all. Can't you tell? Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg was spotted last month riding a $12,000 electric surfboard in Hawaii. Why would you want to ride an electric surfboard? Come on, you got to put in the work. Every time I'm jogging and I see these idiots on their electric bikes when I'm running up the hill, come on, guys, that's how you stay big. Amazon's Jeff Bezos recently purchased a $10 million Beverly Hills home located next door to the $165 million compound he purchased just 6 months ago. He purchased a $165 million home. What's a $10 million home to him then? A closet? Good for him, though. I love to see people getting wealthy. It lets us know that it's possible to achieve wealth with hard work. All right, here's my other one. And I'm not a eat the wealthy kind of guy. I love to see people succeed, regardless of how they make their money. I may bash them just for fun. I may make fun of people who have 500 million, a billion in net worth and try to act like they don't have privilege. I'll make fun of those people all day long because they're idiots. But I'm so happy that people who live in this country can use their talents and abilities to make a lot of money. Hard work and perseverance, baby. All right, Dennis, 36, pleads guilty to hosting a huge house party in Nashville, attended by hundreds during the scamdemic. Jeffrey Matthews, 36, was arrested by the Metro Nashville Police Department on 3 counts of violating health orders by hosting a gathering in excess of 25 people. Videos of the party first circulated August 1st. Charges were filed for Matthews and 40-year-old Chris Eubanks soon after. Eubanks has not been found. Maybe he met an untimely demise due to something. No more than 25 people were allowed to gather during the current phase 2 of shutdowns in Tennessee. And to that, I would just say this. I've pretty much given my thoughts about wealth and all of that, and trying to keep some sense of normalcy in spite of everybody trying to tell us that we're all going to drop dead. Granted, there are certain populations who need to be more careful than the rest of us. The elderly, pre-existing conditions, as we hear, overweight individuals, individuals with breathing problems, perhaps. My thought is this when they're trying to talk about health orders, and this is what the debate has been online that I've seen. Everybody tries to talk about, the health orders, these health orders were handed down. Well, First Amendment, right to peaceable assembly, right? It's assembly of any kind. And that's the argument I hear on the other side. Well, we were peaceably assembling. We were just assembling. So wouldn't federal constitutional law trump health orders? And I get there'll be some pushback. I get that there is a debate. People talk about health orders. And these individuals that talk about health orders and wanting to stay home, these individuals, as I've mentioned before, you can tell the fear in them. They want government to control everything. They don't understand that that's a slope that you don't want to go down. The reason why our society is so great, as I've always said, is its openness, its freedoms. But you have these individuals out there arguing for less freedoms. And what they always fail to realize is that once you turn over freedoms to the government, they rarely give those back. So it always perplexes me why these individuals are arguing so fervently. Yeah, I said fervently. Why they're arguing for more government control. At the same time, they'll be out here arguing against certain aspects of government. Our government's tyrannical. Our government does this overseas. Our government police state this and that. But, when it comes to this, please, they're violating some health orders. Please, officer, go arrest that man. He's violating them health orders. I mean, it's ridiculous, the kind of debate that's out there. But again, I think it's pretty obvious what side of the fence I'm on in terms of this. I would like to think that individuals can be responsible enough to do things the right way and do things that are in their best interest. And most do, some won't. But I recognize that with all of these great freedoms we have, sometimes there are going to be those individuals who act stupidly. You don't want more government control, regardless of what it is. So I see the dentist pled guilty. Now, I read through the article real quick. I didn't see anything mentioned there in terms of his sentence. So we should be getting that shortly. This was just, 2 weeks ago that he was arrested. But I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. And again, how you know that the BS is in and how the fix is in. Looting in the name of Black Lives Matter is encouraged by some mayors, de Blasio and some other individuals, Ted Wheeler, Jenny Durkin. But people can't go to church and people can't go to house parties. That's how you know the fix is in and how this is political. Now here's what I'm talking about. I would say he's a deranged Trumper, but he's obviously educated, so just a dumb independent. Behind every great crime is a dentist. Okay, whatever. My God, WTF is happening to this country. I wish all the people supporting this would go live in a socialist country permanently. I don't know what the person means exactly by that, what side of the debate they're on. They're in Minneapolis. Good luck with Minneapolis. You stay there. But all these people could show up at Walmarts. The cooties, can't infect them. Way to try to perpetrate a diss there, and you can't even write a proper sentence. Way to take a dig at Walmart, huh? And then somebody says here, it looks like in response to somebody, you mean like the mask mandate in restaurants, but not when you eat, because the virus doesn't attack eating individuals. That kind of logic and reason. We obviously didn't see what the original comment was, but again, the debate rages on, right? It's all I need to know about how this is bullshit, how all of this is bullshit. And we're not talking about the virus and people dying. Obviously, this stuff is happening, but how this whole thing, how the mongering, and how they're trying to dictate how I know it's political, and I know you're going to get this as well. It's when you can't go to church, when they're shutting that down, when you can't go to house parties, and when they're shutting down a lot of small businesses like gyms, but you can go riot for Black Lives Matter because it transcends. That's how you know it's bullshit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.